Hi everybody, welcome to my second video. Today I'm actually going to be talking about the zero waste makeup that I used on my face. Now, I used a combination of zero waste brands and also some DIYs that didn't quite turn out the way I wanted. I don't know if I needed more turmeric for this one, probably. Did a little something. So you'll see that I have on a DIY foundation made with primarily food, a DIY lipstick, and also DIY eyeshadow. And really, honestly, the most apparent thing that you can see that is effective is the foundation because it's blending into my skin. I actually got the right tone for my skin. So success there. Everything else I could use a little work on and tweak the recipes a little bit and actually follow a recipe precisely next time around. So a few disclaimers before you do any kind of DIY. You do want to look up the recipe, look up the proportions, make sure you're using the right proportions, because even if it's natural ingredients right from your kitchen, right from your pantry, these ingredients tend to be potent and can be pretty powerful. If you have a sensitivity to a certain ingredient, definitely use common sense precaution and don't use that ingredient. You'll see that I tried to do my DIY foundation with some cinnamon earlier. I never attempted to put cinnamon on my face. I was a little weary of it because I have sensitive skin and my skin has red undertones, and when it's irritated it tends to turn red and get a little bit inflamed. And when I did that foundation that had the cinnamon in it, my skin started to react. Something in this formula is irritating the skin above my lip, but I did just shave that skin this morning. I shaved my little mustache, so nope, something is definitely irritating my skin. I'm gonna take this off my face. Yep. So I ended up wiping that all off and starting from scratch with some gentler, pantry ingredients. So that's one example of how you really should kind of test out certain products on your skin first. So let's talk a little bit about why the zero waste makeup is important. Obviously, you want packaging that is easily recyclable, easily reusable. You don't want the plastic to end up in the landfill. It's estimated that only 2% of the plastic that we send to get recycled is actually recycled. About 98% of it is thrown away. The statistics differ depending on what you look up, but put it this way, majority of the plastic that we have out there is not recycled. So of course it's going to end up in the waterways. It's going to end up as microplastics. It's going to get fed back into our bodies in the food we consume, whether it be plants, whether it be fish or animals or whatever. Even if you're vegan, hey, the water cycle, rain, those microplastics will fall back down to the earth along with the rain. So we're all getting a little bit of plastic in our bodies. Not only do you want to go the route of zero waste makeup to be more plastic free, but zero waste brands tend to be less toxic than other brands. There's even like lipsticks out there that actually have lead in them, which is something I didn't even know. You'd be surprised at the kind of stuff that ends up in a lot of products that people use every single day. The kind of things that they'll put in baby formula or skincare products, and especially for Black women, the things that they put in the hair products that they market towards us, it's just a no-go. Okay, now I can shoot a video. Yeah, I wasn't getting it. That wasn't getting it. Okay, so let's jump into the actual tutorial. So I melted down some coconut oil, shea butter, and some beeswax to form the base for my lipstick. And then I took some blue spirulina to form the pigment. Blue spirulina turns food blue, so it does have a really strong pigment. I decided I would mix it with something red to try to get purple. So I had some red sandalwood, also known as camwood powder, and mixed those two together to see what kind of pigmented lipstick I would have. There's some paprika that I added that didn't turn out quite so well. It didn't do a damn thing, honestly. But once you see me mixing, I realized that I definitely did not put enough blue spirulina. I had to add a bit more. And yeah, this is how I formed the base for what ended up being some blue chapstick. Eyeshadow actually was a fairly easy DIY. So the base was arrowroot each time, and then I just had to choose which pigments I wanted. So I took French rose clay to kind of get like a pinkish eyeshadow, and then I took some turmeric to get more of a deep golden color. And then I also had this gold like ethereal body glow from Mitten Ocean. It's this black owned business on Etsy that I support, and it has a lot of mica in it, so it has a really good gold pigment in the body glow. So I just used that for the third shadow. So I won't spend too long going over the first foundation I made, since the cinnamon ended up reacting poorly to my skin. But as you can see, it's really like the arrowroot base again, and then you could just mix in a bunch of pigments. I had ginger, turmeric, cocoa powder, cinnamon, some kaolin clay. So whatever works well for your skin tone, that's what you can mix in. So when I was getting started with my makeup, I realized that I really wanted to do a brow powder. I actually have a brow powder from Tarte, which is pretty non-toxic, but it comes in a plastic container. And for me, my goal is to move away from plastic and to be like zero waste, low waste, and to show you guys the most environmentally responsible way to do certain things. So going off plastic free, I actually ended up using cacao powder, and it worked pretty well. So quick glance of everything that I'm working with. I've got all my DIYs, my foundation. This is the brow powder, my eyeshadow palette that I made the other day. This is some Dirty Hippie Cosmetics concealer, popular zero waste brand. This is from, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Zara & Co. or Zira & Co. It's from Etsy, and it's some really good zero waste mascara. I actually do like it a lot. This is some liquid eyeliner from Dirty Hippie. My Eco Tools brushes. I've got this little sponge that I'm likely going to use for my concealer. And yeah, this mineral primer is from Mineral Fusion, and seeing as how it's in glass, I'm going to allow myself to use this primer because this typically is what low waste or zero waste packaged makeup comes in glass. And a lot of times the brands will have the plastic like sprayer. Really good brands won't have any plastic at all. So this is just a cocoa powder, very dark cocoa powder. I believe it's Ghirardelli. So it's very good quality cocoa powder. We're just gonna the last time I was working with this cocoa powder, I was so inspired that I ended up making chocolate milk, and I think I'm gonna make chocolate milk again today because I'm greedy like that. I think I look like Groucho Marx. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with the primer. And I'm just, do I want to use a brush? I don't think it's necessary. Let me see what this says. Smooth onto skin prior to foundation with fingertips. Okay, had the right idea. All right, and this is the concealer from Dirty Hippie. By the way, there's a lot of sustainable Black-owned brands. Dirty Hippie, I'm pretty sure is not. But it's a very popular one, which is why, like, the first zero waste makeup I got from, well, not the first, but, you know, it's one of the first zero waste makeup brands that I invested in. Because I only learned about a lot of the sustainable Black-owned brands more recently. And I'm still narrowing down which choices, you know, I want to go with in that department. So I did buy some facial cleanser from Black and Green, which is like an online marketplace of Black-owned, women-owned, sustainable products for like beauty and the home and stuff. Not everything on there is zero waste though, so you kind of just gotta look at the packaging and look at the brand and everything like that, but they do have a good vetting process on there. So I didn't buy any makeup from them yet, but I did buy a good facial cleanser that should be arriving soon. I'm just like all out of, I don't do my makeup a lot. I really don't. I guess I'll do the foundation next. Okay, so that particular foundation was a no-go. And I used ingredients that I'd seen in a lot of DIY foundation recipes. I was hesitant about the idea of using cinnamon to, you know, put on my face because I do have sensitive skin. You can see my skin turned red, and it's almost like I did like a mask or something. But I already reapplied moisture. I just took like a little muslin cloth and removed everything with a little bit of water. I didn't like cleanse my face over because I didn't want to start over with the brows. But gosh, that looks weird. But yeah, I just putting a little Vaseline oil to kind of calm the skin down and soothe the redness, and then we'll start again. Okay, and here's that DIY. I don't even know if I should call it a lipstick. Something else that I didn't measure precisely, but you know, I just threw the shea butter and some blue spirulina and coconut oil together and beeswax. It did set up pretty nicely. Let's just, moment of truth. Let's see. Okay. So I definitely made blue chapstick. It did something. It did something. Okay. Okay. I'm a little scared of this. I'm a little scared of this liquid liner. I've never been great with liquid liner. I'm nervous. Okay. I know you're not supposed to hold your eye, and I know there's like a tape, like you could do the tape method and all that stuff, but we're just gonna hold my eye, and I hope I'm going on pretty heavy with this, aren't I? And this is a slight cat eye. I haven't seen a lot of, oh, it's not bad. That could have been a lot worse. That could have, I mean, I do need to fill it in more, but that could have gone a lot worse. Let me Let me try to do the other side. Okay. Let's try to fix this. Well, the liquid liner turned out better than I expected, but it did need some touching up. I always kind of do make mistakes with liquid liner since I don't wear makeup a lot, and I definitely don't wear liquid eyeliner a lot. I usually make a mistake here and there, but that's why I go in with the eyeshadow after the fact, because the eyeshadow kind of covers it up. And out of the three eyeshadows that I made, the one with the body glow that I have from Mint and Ocean was the one that showed up the most vibrant and came out the best. The other two were kind of too light, and I probably just needed to add more turmeric to the one and more rose clay to the other. After I went in with the eyeshadow, I went on to the mascara. I had a friend in college teach me that you should like twist the mascara wand as you go and sort of wiggle it and separate. So that's what I'm doing. It didn't say that in the instructions, but this is what I do with any mascara. Twist and wiggle. Wiggle and twist. Once done with applying mascara, I went on to apply primer and concealer again, and then a new foundation with fewer ingredients.
Makeup in the wrong place.
Okay, as you can probably see by the stains right here, I just mixed some cocoa powder and arrowroot, and I actually added some golden kaolin clay or kaolin clay, whatever way you pronounce it, and some rose clay, that pink clay that I used in one of my eyeshadows. Okay, so I did what I did the first attempt and just took my moisturizer. I had some moisturizer in that spoon and mixed the powdery foundation mix with that. And this isn't a good foundation brush, not for a liquid. What's done is done. But yeah, this actually kind of looks a little bit more close to my skin tone. Now this application is gonna be bananas. Regardless of how any of this turns out, this smells divine. I know the people that wear makeup every day is like, what are you doing? That brush don't do. Girl or guy. I look, I ain't got all day. I just want to make sure it blends in. So I think it would be a good idea to use like the Mint and Ocean eyeshadow blend as like an illuminizer, because it does have that mica, so we might as well take advantage of it. And let me get that right on the ball. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. So essentially, I decided to complete the look with strobing, which is when you just take some kind of highlighter or luminizer and just highlight all the spots of your face that the sun would naturally hit. I just find that to be a nice way to just kind of go for a nice glowy, effortless look. I'm not that into contour, so this is the route I usually take. And after the strobing was done, my makeup was complete. I hope that, you know, this is good enough to inspire somebody to kind of, you know, want to do something a little different with their face. I mean, if anything, cocoa powder as brow powder, come on, that genius, you know, especially if you don't want to spend all that money. Like if you have it on hand, if you have something in your pantry that can kind of give the pigment, then go for it. You know, that's not gonna mess up your eyebrows. It's fine, and it smells really good too. I know this video is simpler than my last video. It certainly was less labor intensive. I did that on purpose. I was trying to shoot other concepts that I have for other videos that I will do in the future. But with everything going on with me being so busy, I just couldn't crank them out in a timely fashion and in a way that it would have been up to my standards. So I said, let me just do makeup. It's a lot more simple. I could just sit there, do my makeup, and there you go. So I gave myself permission to simplify my life so that you guys would not have to wait any longer for me. You're welcome.